Hello, this is Kim with Standing on Solid Ground. I am your host of this motivational and inspirational podcast, and today's book of the Bible, First Kings. First Kings was the 11th book of the Old Testament. It is the book that provides an account of death of David, the reign of his son Solomon, and the decline of the division of the kingdom of Israel after Solomon and many of his successors turned to idol worship. It also recounts as the ministry of the prophet Elijah and among the northern 10 tribes of Israel. That is another interesting factor in how it's summarized as the first kings of the two-part division. Now, as we are learning different things about the Word of God and about what its purpose was, we have not actually, I have not, let me put it that way, I have not actually deep dived into the meanings of these books and their purposes. My father, he taught on one level, and I thank him so much for taking the time out to read the Word of God to us, to have Bible study with us, to teach us the right way to walk in our lives, because it is a beneficial to my life at this point in time. And although he thought that what he did was insignificant, it is very profound for my life today. And I know that in my heart, that deep in my heart, I wish that he could know what I'm doing in this day and time. But in due season, that is what it's all about. It is all about in due season. Now, this is the introduction, I believe, of Kings. Remember, I told you and explained to you before, there were prophets, there were missionaries, there were writers, Moses and Joshua. They were the ones that helped Israel, the children of Israel, get out of the captivity of Egypt. Moses was the main leader in that group. Then you had priests, which Aaron and his sons fell into that category. We had judges that we later found out that different judges that were transpired, Judah, I believe, being one of them. And now we have kings. And so we are seeing the creation of our world today. We are actually watching it develop before our eyes. And although we will know that, sometimes we may not know the history of who we are and how this world was established until we go into the Word of God. That's our true history book. But it is our history book that tells the future as well, if that makes any sense to you. It gives us both the history of how we became, and it also tells us our coming or what to look for in the days to come. Very profound. Now, biblical commentators believe that the book of Kings were written to provide theological explanation for the destruction of the kingdom of Judah by Babylon. Very interesting. And in c. 586 BCE, and to provide a foundation for the return of a Babylonian exile, meaning that it is a stepping stone, a ladder. It's almost like a tree of life, where it all began. And each branch has its explanation for each one of our tribes, of our cultures, of each people. And it is very important for us to understand where the foundation was laid. And here we're looking at the development of the kings. Again, I hope that this is interesting to you because it's very interesting to me. It is very essential to our living today because we know the textbooks of what was taught to us when we were in school. But to understand where it really all developed, that is so essential to where we are today. The foundations of our fathers. Now we look at the 4 presidents that's on the side of Mount Rushmore as our founding fathers, meaning later on down in history, they became our founding fathers of this United States. But we need to really deep dive and find out where our true foundation came from. And this is where it all began, back in the Old Testaments. This is Kim with Standing on Solid Ground. You have yourself a wonderful and blessed day.